A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you can have as many books as you want. Dreams are amazing that way, and we can all dream together. Or, not if you don't want to. You can dream whenever you want and however you desire. Because I'm not the fucking dream police. Hello, beautiful bookworms! My name is Katarina and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing a book haul for the month of January. I know. As per usual, if you don't know my channel, I am going to state that most of these books are gifted to me, so I don't buy a lot of books, but I get some books every month, comics and manga. I do buy some eventually, but most of these are gifted to me, and so I am extremely lucky to be able to bring you guys book hauls after book hauls, and it's something that I really enjoy to do. So if you enjoy it, leave a like down below or subscribe and tell me about the books that you got, if you got any. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video. And first of all, I'm going to start already with comics. So I have a stack here, and I'm going to start with the third issue of the 10,000 Black Feathers, which is part of the Bone Orchard Mythos, which is kind of a world of terror created by the team Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. And we also have Dave Stewart, which is probably the colorist, I believe. But yeah, this is just, I haven't started this, but the art style alone is fucking beautiful. I love the team Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino since I've read Hidden Falls, and so I'm very excited to pick this series up. The next one that I've got here is volume 3 of The Silver Coin. And I am so excited to get this. I've read the other two. This one has art and lettering by Michael Walsh. It has short stories by James Tynion IV, Stephanie Phillips, and Johnny Christmas, Pornsack Pitchshot, and Michael Walsh. I love it. I love it. It also has a warning, which I really like to see, kind of like comics and graphic novels having trigger warnings. It says, issue 13 contains graphic images related to childbirth, including potential miscarriage, which may be disturbing for some readers. And I am already ready to read this with that caution in mind. So I'm very excited. This is a story about this coin that basically brings bad luck to whoever possesses. So first of all, it gives you a shot of good luck, and then it comes tumbling down with really bad luck for everything that you do or want to do in life. And I like curses, and I like when the short stories from different authors just bring you to the point where you're going to get to know whatever is going on with this coin. And we have The Girl from the Other Side, volume 12. It's side stories set in the world of The Girl from the Other Side. This is by Nagabe, and I really like The Girl from the Other Side. However, I haven't been able to read the 2 last volumes of it. I know that I want to read it, and I know that I want to film a review about it because the art style is beautiful, and the story by itself is very nostalgic and a little bit darkish fairy tales, so it's pretty amazing. However, I do know that it's probably going to end badly, and I think I'm going to cry, so I cannot do it. But now that I have issue 12 with some side stories that will probably make me feel happy, or not, or just cement the sadness, I might give it a shot and try to read the rest of it. Then we have Shadow's House, volume 2. This is by Somato. I love people with just like one pen name, specifically in manga. But yeah, I haven't read the first one. It was gifted to me for Christmas, and I haven't picked it up. However, I have perused through the second one, and I've seen darker shit and darker themes, so pumped for this one. And we have a very common appearance on my channel, which is Blood on the Tracks, volume 12. This cover is very deeply strange. I have perused through the inside, which I haven't done a lot since I've only read 1 volume of this. I know, I don't deserve to live, but it's creepy. It's creepy, and I have to read this. This is a little bit chunkier than the rest of the others, so I'm expecting that it has a lot of story, or at least a lot of beautiful art. This is by Shuzo Oshimi, if you guys don't know, which you probably know because booktube has been craving Shuzuoshimi, so I'm very happy about that, and I really want to read Blood on the Tracks. Also by Shuzuoshimi, we have Inside Mari Volume 9, and this is the last volume of the Inside Mari tale. It's a body swap kind of tale. Obviously, it's going to be coming of age because Shuzuoshimi only writes like coming of age stories, or at least the ones that I've read for them, or the ones that I am collecting. I do have a Shuzuoshimi shelf, which is right there next to my chair. And I'm going to put this right there, and I'm going to read back to bottom, like Inside Mari, all in one, because I haven't read it yet. And we have another conclusion to a series, which is Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost, Volume 5. This is by Kaori Yuki, and it's kind of like a retelling of the Beauty and the Beast, but, you know, different. It's the final volume. I don't know. I haven't read any of these. I can binge read the 5 now. Maybe do a review for this series if you guys are interested. Maybe I will still do it even if nobody tells me. Because the art style is pretty and I want to see a retelling in manga. I haven't seen those, so I really want to. Then we have volume 4 of Alice in Borderland by Haruasu, and I haven't watched a Netflix show. My boyfriend has, and he really strongly recommends this to me. We have the entirety of the manga that has been released in English in this edition, which is a beautiful edition, by the way. It's really chunky and gorgeous, but I haven't read it or watched it, so it's a potential one to do so eventually. I don't know if I want to. And then this one we have is Killing Stalking, the Deluxe edition, volume 2 by Kochi. I hope you say the name like this. So this is still in paper because it has explicit content and it's mature and it cannot be sold without this. I'm going to try and take it away. There you go. Without the thingy. So this you read like a normal book, but it's kind of like Korean manhwa. And it's basically about this male-male relationship of these two dudes. One of them, from what I gather, is a serial killer, and the other one is his stalker. I don't know. It's supposed to be very explicit. It's supposed to have very violent thematics. So it's kind of like a dark horror romance, in a way, maybe. Or maybe it's not romance and just obsession. I don't know. But I want to read it. I want to read it very much. I have heard amazing things about it. And, yeah. I want to know. Also, excuse the hair in this strange clip, but I also got the comic of Book of Slaughter, which is basically an amalgamation of information and a little bit of story about, the slaughters? Not the slaughters. What is this about? Like the St. George people of the Something Still in the Children and House of Slaughter comics and trades. Excited for this. There are things I already know, but it's a good collective of information and things that might help me in the rest of the comics or trades as I read them. So yeah, interesting. The cover of this is beautiful. Yeah. Then I have Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo. And this is by Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto, and this is issue 2. I haven't read issue 1. I am really curious about the art style, about the story. It's really, really short. I don't know if there's going to be like a Batman-Joker partnership, because the Deadly Duo, and you can see a lot of people like trying to fuck them over, and they're just fighting together, apparently. I don't know. I don't know what the story is about. Interested. Then we have House of Slaughter Scarlet, and this is the second trade paperback in the House of Scarlet series, in the House of Slaughter series, so sorry, which will apparently be about the Scarlet Masks. I'm very excited because we are knowing more and more things about the Scarlet Masks, and I really, really want to get to know this specific part of the Order of St. George. The cover by itself, with someone like bleeding to death in the middle of a snowy thingy with the Scarlet Mask on, is already very strange and auspicious for something that I would enjoy, and so
very excited to read this. I haven't read the first one, so I have to, and then I will read this one. And finally, I have the re-edition of Price Manor, The House That Burns by Max Salt. I am very, very happy that I got this. This is by Deadline Horror Collective. It's the press that does this. The cover of this is absolutely gorgeous. I am in love. It's, in fact, A House That Burns. And I don't know, I'm very happy. I think I'm going to reread it. See how I feel like. Because we're going to have the re-edition of the second book in the Price Manor series, The House That Bleeds, in February. And then, hopefully, we'll have another book in the series. So I might reread this when I have the time. It's pretty short, actually. 172 pages. So I think I can reread this and The House That Bleeds and then be prepared for the next one. Continuing with the amazing haul, we have the Hellbound Volume 2 by Yo Sang-woo and Choi Ju-seok, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, which if I'm not, please tell me in the comments down below. I have already read this and adored the social commentary in the first one and the second one. The first one I read last year, like in the ending of last year, and so I will definitely try and do a review on this. If it's already done, I will leave it linked up above, because I think it's really important that we know a little bit of the social context and the state of our society as of now, and how that molded this sort of story and what turned this sort of story into a possibility. Because if it wasn't for society, the story wouldn't even be as grim as it is. So very excited for this one, and if you can and you like manhwa, in this case it's Korean manga, if you like it, go get it, because if you can deal with horror, but actual horror in society, like things that could happen. There are obviously fantastic things in here, but there are things that I can see them potentially happening, and I think that alone makes people scared, and that's what made me scared with this. And then I got a late gift for Christmas, and that is Demon in the Wood, and it's part of the Grishaverse. If you know the Grishaverse, you already know what this is. This is a graphic novel of Demon in the Wood. Demon in the Wood is kind of a short story about the Darkling that is inserted in the editions that I have of the Grishaverse, which are not here, are in front of me. I don't remember if it's in Ruin and Rising, but it's one of them. And it's kind of like the story of the Darkling and why he is the way it is, and why he's like a villain, but with actual good intentions, but just doing them in the worst possible way. And this is by, obviously, Lee Bardugo, and then it's by Danny Pendergast, which I believe is the one that does the art of this. And it says, Darkling's origin story comes alive in his exquisitely illustrated prequel to Shadow and Bone, the hit Netflix series. And I would like to say it was a hit book series before it was a hit Netflix series. The art style is okay. It's pretty fun, actually. It has a lot of colors and it has a lot of things. I'm excited to reread this in art style format. So it's another one for my Grishaverse collection, and I'm very happy. Also the purple colors. We love purple colors. We love it. Then we have a book, and this is The Push by Ashley Audrain, yeah. And this was one that got really famous. I think I heard about it last year. I don't know if I heard about it the year before, but I think it was like really famous last year. Let me check. It says 2021, so maybe the year before it was already, but last year I heard a lot of people reading it for the first time. First of all, it's purple. Second of all, it's the story of this mother. She has just gave birth to this daughter, you know, and it's like she believes that the daughter is evil and that the daughter is trying to do something against her. However, she's the only person that believes this. The husband loves their child. Grandparents love the child. Everyone loves the child. But with her specifically, it kind of looks like the daughter has like this evil within. And it's kind of supposed to be a look on maternity and like the things that you go through while generating and giving birth to a child, and then like all of the expectations and all of the way that things really are and the stresses of motherhood and the problems of motherhood, but through a lens of a thriller. And I'm very excited to read this. It's something that I really enjoy, the relationship between parents and children, and how that motivates their behaviors and motivates their changes, and the way they relate to each other and how it impacts personality. So I'm very excited to see if this, on a psychological way, is interesting enough for me to actually have a good time. And then we have one that they changed the title because to fit the movie version, so it's this one. It's called The Turning, but actually the real name of this is The Turn of the Screw and Other Stories. This is by Henry James, and from what I gather, it's an ancient horror classic, which I really want to read. However, because the movie that they did for it is called The Turning, yeah, they started calling it The Turning, which is not the real name. It's also The Turn of the Screw, I believe. It's the inspiration, or one of the inspirations, for The Haunting of Bly Manor, done by Mike Flanagan on Netflix, which I absolutely loved, and I really want to know more about the story on itself, and so very excited to get this. This is very short, and if it's like short stories, wow, it's already... Why is it already marked? My god, okay. And if it's just short stories and horror short stories, I think it will be great for me to actually read and learn a little bit more about writing horror, since it's something that I'm onto or into at the moment. We also got The Nice House on the Lake issue 12, and this is bright AF, so I'm going to take it out here so that you guys can see it better. There you go. So this is by James Tynion IV, Alvaro Martinez Bueno, and Jordi Belair, and it's the finale of the Nice House on the Lake series as we know it. And not spoiling anything, but obviously at the moment that I got this in my hands, I read it, and wow, it's an incredible finale. For me, I was expecting everything that happened in this finale, so it wasn't like a oh my gosh experience. However, it was a really great finale. It was the best that they could do with the amount of page time and issues that they had, and I really, really enjoyed this series and how it's a new take on horror and survival and other types of horror, but it has clever characters and clever situations happening. I really enjoyed it. I like our main characters, most of them. I like the plot. I like all of the plot twists, and yeah, it was great. It was a great experience to read The Nice House on the Lake. Then I have The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing issue 3, and The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing issue 4. I'm not going to take these out of here because I haven't read them, so I don't want to touch a lot on them before I read them, but the covers of these, like in this, Joker is having like a brain operation while he's alive and laughing, and in this one he's kind of being devoured by a like mud / fiery monster, which, I mean, we love. These covers are aggressive and aggressive and aggressive, and this is by Rosenberg, Di Giandomenico, Francavilla, and Prianto, and very excited for get this. I haven't read issue 1 or 2, so I'll just have to be patient, and when I do, I can read all of them. And finally, because this video is already a very strange amalgamation of days that I've hauled things, we have Orochi Volume 3 by Kazu Umez. I haven't read Volume 2 yet, but I read the first one and I really enjoyed it, so I'm very excited to see where this is going. I think there's 4 volumes in this series, which is really, really big, but they're all so beautiful and so hardcover-ish that, yeah, we love it.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you lose your heartaches. Whatever you wish for you keep. I wish I could keep all of these like right in my backpack so I could read them all day, but apparently I can't. So yeah.